COPWATCH, policing the police every single day.
The controversy today with Broward Sheriff Scott Israel and the Stoneman Douglas massacre. For the first time, the sheriff's personal attorney is publicly denying an online report that the governor will remove the sheriff from office. Local 10 investigator Bob Norman has our story today.
Why didn't the deputies go in?
I just told you I'd talk about it when the report is in.
Broward Sheriff Scott Israel doesn't talk much about the FDLE investigation into his agency's multiple failures in responding to the Parkland shooting.
Here is Stuart Kaplan, the attorney for the sheriff.
But this morning, Israel had his personal attorney, Stuart Kaplan, go on the radio to shoot down an unconfirmed report. The governor addressed a report by right-wing blogger Laura Loomer, citing an unnamed BSO source, that Scott would remove Israel from office when the FDLE report is released. Not because of BSO's failures, but due to unknown criminal matters.
Is the sheriff under criminal investigation?
To my knowledge, absolutely not.
Is he going to be removed next week
from my information, absolutely not.
The shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
The Republican gubernatorial debate last week showed just how politically charged Israel himself has become, as both GOP primary candidates, Ron DeSantis and Adam Putnam, said he should be removed from office.
What I would have done is I would have removed that sheriff from Broward County. He failed his citizens, and he should have been removed.
Putnam followed suit.
Would you have fired Sheriff Israel?
Sheriff Israel is under investigation, and Sheriff Israel needs to go.
The governor's office has been quiet about the open investigation, but a key question is what role politics will play in the decision by Rick Scott, who's running for U.S. Senate in November. In Pembroke Park, I'm Bob Norman, Local 10 News.
Okay, Bob, thanks a lot. Bob did reach out to the governor's office with questions, but they declined to provide any answers before that investigation is complete.
Broward County Sheriff fired for lying about Parkland. July 3, 2018. Sean Adl Tabeta by News, US 13. Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel has been fired for covering up the truth about what happened during the Parkland shooting. According to reports, following a criminal investigation by Florida Governor Rick Scott, Sheriff Israel will be replaced as early as next week. From big league politics, Sheriff Israel is being removed from office for criminal issues, not malfeasance, following an investigation conducted by the Office of Florida Governor Rick Scott. The source exclusively revealed to big league politics that Sheriff Israel is also allegedly being investigated by the IRS. The high-level police source within the sheriff's office disclosed that over the last several months, 4 candidates have been interviewed to refill the position of Broward County Sheriff. One of the candidates who were interviewed is Emery Gianni, a Republican Florida law enforcement official who is closely associated with Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. During the IG's testimony last week, FBI Director Christopher Wray was asked about the Parkland school shooting. When asked, Wray declined to answer any questions about the shooting and Sheriff Israel, citing that it was an active FBI investigation. Following the Parkland shooting, Governor Scott called for Director Wray to resign over the FBI's failure to properly investigate Nicholas Cruz, 19, the school shooter whose plans to carry out a school shooting were reported to the FBI twice prior to the shooting on Valentine's Day. We constantly promote see something, say something, and a courageous person did just that to the FBI. And the FBI failed to act. See something, say something is an incredibly important tool, and people must have confidence in the follow-through from law enforcement. The FBI director needs to resign, Governor Scott said. According to the source in the Broward Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Israel's removal revolves around a criminal matter that the FBI is aware of. Although his failures surrounding the Parkland shooting initially sparked the investigation, it isn't the sole reason why he is being removed. The high-level source who wished to remain anonymous told Big League Politics that Sheriff Israel is already aware of the fact that he is being removed from office next week. Sheriff Israel has been under heavy criticism for his handling of the Parkland school shooting, which left 17 people dead. Following the Valentine's Day school massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, it was revealed that police officers under Sheriff Israel's order were called to the home of the Parkland shooter 45 times prior to the school shooting. It is unclear why law enforcement at the Broward County Sheriff's Office and FBI failed to properly investigate Cruz, but their massive failure has been directly attributed to the loss of 17 lives in Parkland, Florida. Since the Parkland shooting, a lot of unflattering information has come out regarding Sheriff Israel. Along with being a mouthpiece for Democratic politicians and gun control advocates, like Hillary Clinton and Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who he has been photographed with, Sheriff Israel and his department have recently made headlines for more controversy. In May, it was revealed that Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School and the Broward County Sheriff's Office were keeping quiet the fact that Sheriff Israel's son, Brett, had allegedly assaulted a 14-year-old student on campus in an act of bullying. Shortly after the Parkland shooting, cell phone video filmed by Cruz himself revealed that he himself felt bullied, which led him to carry out a massacre on February 14, 2018 in a targeted attack against his former classmates. Most recently, Sheriff Israel received a massive amount of backlash after the Broward County Sheriff's Office tweeted a picture of a new custom-made Broward Sheriff's car that read, "Our new #Dodge #Charger. Do you like the paint job?" The tweet sparked outrage online from Republicans and Democrats alike, who quipped that the Broward Sheriff's Office should use the funds to pay for better officer training, not new cars. Leaders on both sides of the aisle have called for Sheriff Israel to resign or be removed by the governor for his extreme dereliction of duty and failure to prevent one of the worst school shootings in U.S. history. During the Florida GOP primary debate in Florida last week, Florida Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam and Representative Ron DeSantis were asked about the Parkland school shooting. Both Putnam and DeSantis called for the removal of Scott Israel while asserting their support of the Second Amendment. "I would have removed that sheriff from Broward County. He failed his citizens and he should have been removed," DeSantis said. "Sheriff Israel is under investigation and he needs to go," Putnam said. Governor Scott is expected to release a statement in the coming week when Sheriff Israel is removed from office. Scott is currently running for U.S. Senate in Florida, and news of Sheriff Israel's removal is sure to boost his approval rating in what is gearing up to be one of the most important Senate races in the country. In the days following the Parkland shooting, Sheriff Scott Israel was confronted and asked about his support of and affiliation with the Democratic Party and why he chose to blame guns instead of holding his department and the FBI accountable. Unable to withstand tough questioning, Sheriff Israel became flustered and ended the interview after saying, "The only person accountable for this killing is the detestable, cowardly, murderer. He is solely responsible for this horrific act." However, as the investigation into Parkland has shown, both Sheriff Israel and the FBI dropped the ball and are to blame for their failure to prevent the shooting despite receiving multiple warning signs. Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use, and also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.